Hello, this is Miss Candy from T.P.O.T Media. Welcome to Dark Exodus.
Everybody needs masculine structure to, you know, better themselves.
Here comes X. Think about this.
Here lately, you've heard me go in for the brothers hard, something I will continue to do. And I want to give the brothers some of my views on why many of our female counterparts tend to be the way that they are. But this isn't just for the brothers, it's for you ladies too. So forget you have a cooch for a few moments, because like the brother Black Ram always says,
this is therapeutic, man.
So first, let's be clear. Most of us are born without fathers around. That's a fact. And most of the people born are female. That too is a fact. So that means most black women come up in this world without any father figure, male figure, or male influence at all. So are we surprised that many women have problems with male interaction, daddy issues, the longing for testosterone? But where does it all begin? We know where it begins. This begins at home with that absent father. There's an empty space there, practically cookie cutter in nature. The balance that we bring as black men is non-existent in most cases. So throughout infancy, throughout toddlerhood, throughout adolescence and puberty, this missing part of female's personality is left empty because of the lack of male energy being injected into her psychology. I believe all children long for that missing father, even with the constant talk of mom also being the dad, the constant mental bombardment of how your pops is a loser, a waste of space, a deadbeat. This takes tolls on our sons as well. It affects them to their very core, often stunting their development into men. But our daughters, the toll it takes on them is different because of the different gender dynamic. Boys at least have the opportunity to deal with the opposite sex in the form of their mothers. But girls often don't have that opposite sex interaction until they are of dating age, except when there is a brother or uncle, or if mom has a new boyfriend, another man. So this is when that cry for daddy gets confusing and convoluted. The image of a man that this child knows should be there. The man that should love her, tell her she's beautiful, smart. The man that should be giving her piggyback rides and shower her with birthday gifts, teach her how to ride a bike, pick her up when she falls and cries, protect her from the boogeyman that is in the closet. That empty image filled by a man who does none of this. Why is this crucial? Because any man that is taking up time with mama can make a child want that man to be daddy. So that cry for daddy, even though silent, will become more prevalent, more evident. This is a child. So why wouldn't this child believe that this man could be daddy? Especially if the child has gotten used to him being around. But this is where the story turns. Why? Because 6 out of 10 black girls are molested by the time they are 12, usually by someone within the circle of influence, usually by someone they know, usually by mama's boyfriend. So now this image of a male, of man, of daddy becomes skewed. This man, this guy, this other half of mommy, this dad, this creep has violated their innocence. That's when it sets in. This ain't my father. They have to tell mommy, but mommy ignores, denies, even goes as far as blaming the child for what this perverted perpetrator is doing to them. Because mommy, she went through the same thing, and she will sacrifice the well-being of her own daughter just to have this male around, knowing that the reason this child is being tormented is because she has this pedophile at the crib. But she's crying out for daddy too. After all, that's why he's here. She wants him to stay. You would almost think she sees having a daughter he's willing to molest as an incentive, an extra, a reason to want to remain there with her. After all, this is how things were, so this is how things are. Mommy's idea of father was shady and blurred a long time ago. So whatever form it comes in, it's acceptable to her. But this female child is conditioned, groomed, and educated in dysfunction, even experiencing her first sexual encounter, a negative encounter, a dysfunctional encounter. Her first encounter with a man is not about doing for the girl what a father would do, but doing things with this girl that a little girl shouldn't do. She thinks this is what a man is. This is what a dad does. Mommy obviously thinks this too, because she lets it continue. Even if she switches boyfriends, switches molesters, every man mama drags into that house, every potential daddy image, every potential protector is also a potential predator. Still wanting daddy, but so afraid of daddy, because now all of mommy's men are daddy. All men are daddy. Who knows how many times this happens? Who knows for how long? Who knows how many men come through to smash mother and child? So by the time they are of an appropriate age, when it's appropriate time to interact with men, they've usually had more sexual encounters than us, more sexual contact than us, more sex than us. I find it hard to believe that this kind of stuff doesn't make women mentally augmented over a period of time, mentally fragmented, emotionally fragile, and quite frankly, very crazy. But still searching for daddy in any shape, in any form, in any fashion, or in any amount of men. Maybe if they make any one of them a father, he will fill the hole that they have within themselves, trying it 2 times, 4 times, 6 times, 8 times even, trying to give kids a daddy so maybe they can have one too. Being able to say, my baby daddy, is the only time they have ever said daddy, without O in front of it, of course, because that's what they really want to say is my daddy, my daddy. This is where it comes from. The mental illness, the promiscuity, the multiple children, the irresponsible behavior. They come to us, men, as adults, screwed up, broken, not knowing us, not knowing themselves, looking at us as their image of the man or men who tortured them as children, You know, it's all our fault. It's because of us. When in reality, it was demented stepdad's fault, and mostly their mama's fault. Most of them will never have a long-term relationship. Most of them will never be married. Most of them will grow old alone. These people were fractured, broken, ruined as a child. Many stuck in perpetual childhood, covered by a grown woman's body, conducting themselves like children, even in adult situations. Now I know the brothers have seen this, experienced this before. We've dealt with these broken people who are beyond fixing. We have to face it, brothers. Some of these women are just not for us. They are not for anyone. And women will say, not every woman is like this or has gone through this, which is true. But I am sure that every woman within the sound of my voice has either been through this or knows someone that has. So that means the numbers are high. I'm just saying. So brothers, know this. Black society will never start to repair itself until these cycles stop repeating themselves. So the best thing we can do is be there for our daughters and teach our sons to be there for their own daughters. If we do that, we are doing our part, regardless of what anyone says. Make sure young girls don't have that daddy complex that their mother had, that their grandmother had. The father men, we have to keep our daughters from turning out like their mothers. Keep them from being heifer holes and harlots, protecting them from crazy creeps that take up with their mothers. Maybe we can send forth a new generation of women who aren't twerking for likes, fist fighting for viral views, who aren't incorporating white beauty standards onto themselves, who aren't acting like ass-backwards jackasses, who aren't hunting for men or hoeing for fun, who aren't subordinates and accomplices of white society, who aren't the most obese, the most ratchet, the most out there. We have to change them by changing our own daughters, brothers, because most of this shit these women do is nothing but a cry out for daddy.
Dark X.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind.
The front is stereo.
Everybody needs a masculine structure to, better themselves.
Now, what you think about that?
We have some work to do. We have some things to look at in our daughters.
Open your mind.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your minds.